Hi everyone, it's Sarah, and welcome to my YouTube channel. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks for new vegans. So I've been vegan for a little over a year now, and the most common question I get asked is, oh, it's probably so difficult. How hard is it? Don't you hate it? Well, quite frankly, I don't hate it. I actually love it. And it's really easy, but at the beginning it can be a little tricky, whether you're transitioning from a standard American diet like I did, or whether you're a vegetarian. Transitioning to vegan, it's going to be a little difficult at the beginning. So I'm going to share some tips to make the process a little bit easier. So my first tip would be to use your resources. So what that means is to join Facebook groups, look at blogs and websites online, or even other YouTube videos. I'm in a Facebook group called Vegan on a Budget. So I personally don't always live on a budget, but it's still great to get tips and tricks to make your vegan life easier. So that's awesome because you get to see like-minded people on the internet, and you get tips and tricks on going vegan. So my second tip would be to drink a lot of water and always carry around a water bottle with you. So I would give this tip for anyone who follows any diet, but it is especially important when you're transitioning to vegan because your body is going to react to this. It's going to be different. It's used to having meat and dairy and all these things in your body that you're not going to be eating anymore. So it's important to stay hydrated throughout the process. And this does not mean to replace water with food. It just means to stay hydrated and always be prepared because you never know when you're going to be thirsty or just like wanting a little bit of water. My next tip would be to eat until you're full. What a lot of people don't realize is that you need to eat more on a vegan diet because unlike eating meat, there's less protein in the food you're eating, and that doesn't mean you need to pack in on tofu and fake meat. They're great, but it just means eat more foods that aren't as calorically dense. It's okay to eat a bowl of rice and some beans. It may be more than you have eaten in the past, but that doesn't mean you're gonna gain weight or that you're not doing veganism right, because honestly, veganism is different for every single person. And so that is a really, really, really important thing to remember, is that you are going to eat until you're satiated, until you're satisfied, because that's really, really important. You don't want to be restricting your calories or cutting out food because that's not healthy and that's not the way you should be eating. Food should become second nature to you. My next tip would be to meal prep. So meal prep is basically where you plan out your meals the night before. It's really awesome if you work, if you go to school, if you're a student like me. So the night before, you pack your breakfast and your lunch, or you can even pick a day in the week. A lot of people choose Sunday, and you plan out your entire meals for the week. So, and sometimes it even includes dinner if you're really busy and you don't have to worry about it. So you can make a big pot of rice and beans, and you put them in containers for the entire week, or even the freezer if you want to use them later in the week or the next week. And also you can make like overnight oatmeal where you put in oats and almond milk and whatever toppings you want, and you put in your fridge, and the next morning grab it and go. You put it in mason jars or Tupperware containers. The next one is to pack snacks. So it's similar to meal prepping, but it's when you're on the go and you're gonna be gone for a little bit. Just pack a bag of nuts or a protein bar or some dried fruit or a banana, So that's really important. You can also keep that in your bag at school so you always have it, because sometimes you never know when you're going to be hungry, because it's going to be a new diet for you and you're not going to be used to it. And another thing is you can keep it in your car. You can even keep it in your sports bag for after a game. So you never know when you're going to be hungry, and especially it's really important to have bars and to be energized. Nuts are an awesome quick way to just have a few almonds and then go. It's a great way to do it. So another thing is be creative. Being creative is so important with your meals because you're gonna get a little bored. You maybe not, but it's something you've never tried before. So look up new recipes, try out new things, maybe try to veganize other meals that you loved before you were vegan. So for me, I really like mac and cheese. So I've made my own before, whether it's in a box, you can buy it from the supermarket, or whether it's homemade. So they have a lot of vegan options, and then also homemade, I've made it with vegetables before. I've made it with cashew cream sauce. I made it with nutritional yeast, which is an awesome substitute for cheese that a lot of vegans use. You can also buy your own vegan cheese, which pretty much everything that they make that's non-vegan, they also make vegan. The next thing would be, don't be hard on yourself. If you accidentally eat something vegan, it doesn't mean, oh, now I'm gonna restart. Oh no, I messed up. You know, like, it's not about being perfect. If you're intentionally like, oh, I'm gonna eat that piece of steak, I mean, yeah, you can be hard on yourself for that. But if you have something and you forget to check it, or you checked it and you missed something, or the person who is serving it to you forgot to tell you, or accidentally cooked it with butter, you know, it happens. It's a lifestyle. It's not a strict diet you have to follow 24/7. You obviously shouldn't be eating these things, but if it happens by mistake, it's not the end of the world. And another thing to keep in mind is that even if you're eating a vegan diet, you're still you're going to be living a much less cruel life. You're already saving thousands of animals all the time. So basically, if you eat something by accident, it doesn't mean you have as much as an impact on the environment and the animals as full-on meat eaters and omnivores. So it's okay if you make a mistake, because you're still having this amazing impact if 99.9% of the time you're living a vegan diet. My next tip would be to do your research. So this is really, really, really important when you first go vegan, almost even before you go vegan. And what I did was I also watched a lot of YouTube videos. I looked online. There's also some great documentaries on Netflix, Cowspiracy, Forks Over Knives, Earthlings. They show you why you should go vegan, and there's also so you should be doing your research on why you should go vegan, and there's also research on what foods are vegan and what aren't vegan. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of foods are vegan by accident, and then a lot of foods also that you wouldn't think that wouldn't be vegan, I think that would be vegan, aren't vegan. So basically, what a lot of people don't realize is marshmallows, they're not vegan. They have gelatin in them, which comes from animals. But then a food that is vegan that a lot of people don't realize are Oreos. So do your research. PETA comes out with a lot of great things. There's a lot of websites. It's really, really important to do research, because you're going to be surprised on things that are vegan and that aren't vegan, and it's important to be aware. The next thing would be to buy staples. And what I mean by that is that there are like vegan staples that are usually pretty cheap, and they're important to have in your pantry all the time. So that would be rice, whether it's white or brown rice, beans, whether it be lentils, chickpeas, black beans, and another thing would be oats, because oats are great. You can eat them all the time. You can make oat pancakes. You can make oatmeal. You can make oat flour. It's really, really great resource. Another one would be potatoes. Potatoes are great. You can use potatoes for everything. It's just one of those staples. Another one would be almond milk. Almond milk is a great. I wouldn't even consider it a substitute for regular milk, because it's not fake like fake meats, which I'm not downplaying. They're still good to use also. But almond milk comes from almonds. It's very healthy for you. You can use coconut milk, oat milk, soy milk, rice milk. These are all great alternatives. And another thing I wanted to mention is that to have tofu and fake meat products, those are great. You can buy them all the time. You can buy them once in a blue moon. You could not eat them at all. But I just want to let you guys know that you don't have to be buying them all the time, because they can get pretty expensive, and those staples that I listed are pretty inexpensive. And then my last tip would be to veganize things. And what I mean by this is, if your friends want to go out to eat, you don't have to look for a vegan restaurant, which you can. If your friends want to, that's awesome. That's totally, totally awesome. I would recommend that. But your friends might not always want to do that. So look online prior to going to the restaurant. You can call the restaurant up. Look online. If you're going to, I don't know, the Olive Garden, you can look up Olive Garden vegan menu, and then it'll show you everything that comes on the menu. So if your friends mention a place and then you look it up and you're like, they don't have that many vegan options, maybe we can change the place to eat. So with that, I would say great places are Chipotle have amazing vegan options. Blaze Pizza is a pizza chain. They even have vegan cheese there. Another place would be surprising is fast food restaurants. You can look up vegan at Wendy's, and they'll have salads, and their french fries are vegan. And now they're not always ideal, but if your friends are going out or you're on the go, it's great to look things up. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!